Greetings. Welcome, everybody. Today I'm talking about the use of mantras to help us keep focus and stay attuned to our goals despite distractions. I got my inspiration from the story, this children's story called The Little Engine That Could. You probably know the story, but it's effectively about a small engine who was given a task to take a load up a giant hill that the other bigger, stronger engines were unwilling to do. This was not a task that this engine thought that he could do. However, by repeating the phrase, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can," eventually the engine did it, and everybody was happy and celebrated the fact that the engine was successful. And then after the story ends, the new mantra is, "I knew I could, I knew I could, I knew I could." So this story is important because it teaches us that we can keep our minds focused and centered on a goal or a task by repeating an easy to remember phrase to ourselves frequently and often in order to just stay focused. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm really good at creating goals. I'm really good at creating grand visions and schemes, but I'm not so good at staying focused. Execution's no problem for me. The problem is I'm executing a lot of things and I forget that I had set up goals of something I wanted to achieve, and I need to stay on task to get that goal done. And by letting myself get distracted, I tend to, my attention span wanes and I'm not able to focus on it as much. So mantras are a way to help me stay on task. An example is I have this goal to improve my running right now, and I'm slowly getting back into running, increasing the mileage each week, and trying to reduce the amount of time it takes me to complete my daily run. So this is going okay. However, sometimes when I get out there in the morning, like this morning when I ran, I felt sluggish and a little tired and was kind of distracted and mentally not with it. That's when I remembered a mantra that I've used frequently that I borrowed from a book I read called Light, Smooth, Fast. So I started repeating that mantra in my mind as I was running, light, smooth, fast. And as I did so, my pace started picking up, my breathing became regulated, I had more confidence, and sure enough, by the time I finished my run this morning, I had broken the time goal that I'd set for myself. So using a mantra like this can help us stay razor sharp, focused, and on task. The Little Engine That Could is a perfect example, and the parallels between that story and our life are pretty interesting. We all have large mountains to climb. We all have tasks that are more difficult than we think we're made for or capable of. And we all have people that are ridiculing us or making fun of us or looking down on us for even trying. I've had a lot of goals in my life, and my enthusiasm has waned as I've tried to get to them. The running example is one, but there's been many more. One example right now is I'm trying to build a new business model for something I'm working on, and it's really not easy. It's kind of an intense thinking process. So my mind wants to avoid it. It's something I absolutely have to do, and I want to do. It's actually rather fun once I get into it. But the thought of climbing that mountain is tough, right? So each and every day, I repeat this phrase, progress, not perfection. Because my biggest challenge is I'm trying to do it perfect. And that's what prevents me from completing it. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to make progress. So progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. That helps me get past this overwhelming angst I have about not getting things exactly right. Mantras have tremendous psychological benefits. This is based in actual research, but it's also based in thousands of years of different religious faiths implementing the same practice. Now, mantras are not for just Tibetan monks. Anybody can use them because the psychological benefits are real. So let me give you just a few of what those are. So enhanced concentration is probably the first and main benefit. By using mantras, it helps you concentrate and focus on the task at hand. It also can help reduce stress because stress is caused by your mind adding too much to your plate. So as you're working on things, your mind is adding other things you need to do and think about. I've talked about before, when you get past that 3 number and you add 4 or 5 things to think about, that's when stress-inducing anxiety comes. So to avoid that, a mantra keeps you really focused. Like I was saying, light, smooth, fast. That kept me focused on the task at hand, which was running, rather than all the other thoughts that were floating around in my head. You can also be more effective. Efficacy as a person is really important when trying to complete daily tasks. You can see some people that are just absolute taskmasters at getting something done. That's because they have an intense ability to focus. We can also have that ability, but it requires us to hone our minds into the particular thing at hand, and mantras can be a great way to start you on that path. I have multiple mantras now, one for every major thing that I do, that I can just start repeating to myself to get myself in the mood for what it is I need to accomplish. Mantras also can help you be mindful, because one of the problems with being present, being in the moment, is this monkey mind thing where we're just constantly just going down paths that are inconsequential or ridiculous or even silly. Sometimes they're going down paths which are important, but not important for right now. Living in the moment, taking care of what needs to be done now, requires mindfulness, and mantras are a great way to get you there. I've also noticed that mantras, especially evening time mantras, where you're getting ready to go to sleep or you're ready to transition the day to the next task, or to transition to spend time with family, or transition to preparation for sleep. Mantras can help regulate your emotions as well. It's a great motivator. It helps you be consistent. So I would suggest implementing some sort of phrase that you repeat to yourself to give yourself an extra oomph or extra power as you go throughout your day. Now, there's different ways you can pick a mantra. I would recommend no more than 3 words. I like the mantras that are just simply 3 words: light, smooth, fast. Progress, not perfection. So these are the types of mantras that I create. I think 3 words is something easy to remember. I don't forget it. And it's something easy to repeat. It also has a bit of a rhythm to it. Obviously, you can choose whatever you want. This is just guidance to help you get that extra motivation to stay focused. So in conclusion, just like the little engine that could, we can repeat a very positive, encouraging phrase to get us through difficult or times when we feel the most distracted. Mantras help you accomplish great things, climb mountains you thought you couldn't climb, and overcome obstacles. The mantra itself is not doing it, you were doing it. The mantra just helps you keep from wandering and getting stressed out and having too much anxiety or becoming rotten with perfection. So, if you find a mantra, hey, comment on the blog or on this video. I think hearing other people's mantras helps. I mean, I've borrowed lots of people's mantras. Most of them are not my own, because I've heard really good ones. And so if you have an opportunity to share, please do. Thank you.